We are making some homemade Twix bars. This is my family's favorite treat. It's so simple, very few ingredients, and it's just a delicious treat. So we're gonna go ahead and we are gonna get started with the crust. The crust calls for 2/3 cup of butter. Now I like to use cold butter. This is gonna give you a really nice and flaky crust for the bars. And I like to go ahead and slice the butter in nice chunks. I'm going to add my butter to my mixing bowl. And you want to make sure you are using salted butter. I'm going to go ahead and add my flour. I'm going to do 1 1/4 cups of flour. Then I'm going to go ahead and add my sugar. I'm going to do 1/3 cup of sugar. And then we are going to get our pastry cutter. This is a really simple way to make the crust. You can also put it into a Cuisinart as well. So we are just going to cut the butter into the flour and sugar. And I do this for about 2 to 3 minutes. Alright, so once you have cut your butter into your flour and sugar, your crust dough should look very similar to this. We've got some larger chunks and the flour and sugar just start to pull together. So we are going to get our pan. You can use a 9x13. This is a 9x9. And if you want to do thicker bars, a 9x9 is great. If you want to have more thinner bars, a 9x13 works as well. We are going to spray our pan, and then we're going to pour our crumble into the pan, and we're going to just gently press the crumble together to form a crust. We are going to pop the crust in the oven at 350, and you're going to bake it for about 20 minutes. It will be done when the edges are a light golden brown. So we're going to set that aside and let it cool. Now while that is completely cooling, we are going to start making our caramel. So for the caramel sauce, we're going to start with the 2 teaspoons of salted butter. We're going to add 1/3 cup of brown sugar. Then we're going to add 1/2 cup of sweetened condensed milk. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of light corn syrup. You can also use dark corn syrup as well. I've done both and it both turns out great. So we're going to whisk our caramel sauce together. And you're going to want to whisk it on medium-high. You don't want to leave the stove because you do not want this to burn. So we're going to continuously whisk it on medium-high until the caramel sauce starts to pool away and bubble from the pan. Now once your crust is completely cooled, we are going to add our homemade caramel sauce on top. And I like to go in with a spatula, and we're just going to smoothen out the caramel right over the crust. And once we have this completely smooth, we're going to pop this in the refrigerator and let this chill. So while the caramel and the crust are chilling in the refrigerator, we are going to go ahead and melt our top layer, which is going to be chocolate. I like to use milk chocolate, or you can also use semi-sweet. So for today, we are going to go with some semi-sweet chocolate chips. I'm just going to pop this in the microwave for about 30 seconds. I don't have too much chocolate. I poured about 1 cup, and 30 seconds was just enough. Because the glass is still so hot, it continues to melt the chocolate as I mix it together. Once the chocolate is fully melted, we are going to get the pan back out of the refrigerator and we are going to spread our melted chocolate on top. I'm going to go ahead and use the same spatula that is clean, and we're just going to smoothen the top and cover all the edges with the chocolate. Once the chocolate is applied to the top, we are going to put this back in the freezer and let it chill. And after about 30 minutes or so, you can take your bars back out. You can also eat them warm, but they're much easier to serve if they are chilled. And then we're just going to slice these bars and serve them up.